So when Visit Bentonville invited us for their Bike Bentonville fall campaign, we were super excited because Bentonville has been on our bucket list for a long time. And next year in 2020, we really want to go back up through the PNW and British Columbia again, but we also really wanted to go to the Northeast, like Maine and New Hampshire, Vermont. And we have a conference down in the Southeast, in Louisiana. And so we really wanted to get to Arkansas, but I just did not see how it was going to happen with the travel plans that we currently have. Sure enough, I said, forget it, girls. We just can't get to Arkansas. All of a sudden, they invited us. We were so stoked. Was on our bucket list was it's an amazing mountain biking destination. That was a big reason, and I didn't know how great it was. It's just that a lot of times before I go to bed, I'm like on my phone looking up on Trail Forks for some of the best mountain biking destinations, and I remember seeing that there were tons of blues because we're not amazing mountain bikers, but we want something more than just a bike path, which it's cool. Bentonville has like a 20-mile long greenway, so if you don't really want to get on trails, it's really great too. But for us being intermediate mountain bikers, it was really exciting to get to bike there because there's so much diversity and you don't really have to go far from town. In fact, most of the trails start right from the center of town. Even if you're an advanced mountain biker, we were with a whole group of people that were way out of our league, and they had a great time. One of the cool things about the mountain biking trails there is because it's all been built up. They're building like 1.5 miles per week. 10 years ago, none of these trails existed. So they're able to custom build things. It was a little different because we're used to mountain biking more where it's more mountainous. And so they call that gravity-fed trails, where basically you climb uphill for an hour and then you go downhill. It seemed like everywhere we bike in Alaska and Bend and Colorado are what we're used to. I really enjoyed, though, that it wasn't like that just because I'm not so skilled that I can just launch off of ramps and catch airs. But the other good thing is there were a lot of advanced rides that we did do that we could just roll or we could bypass the obstacles. So you have a big diversity. If you're a beginner mountain biker, there's a couple nice greens that were really pleasant to do to get a taste of riding trails. One other cool thing about the mountain biking network is that it starts right from the center of town. So you just really, you can be downtown having your coffee and breakfast at the press room, hop on your bike, go for a bike ride, get all this stoke on these non-gravity fed trails, which was cool because it just meant more of a workout. You get to pedal more, and I love that. And then you can be right back in town in like 5 minutes and be eating an amazing dinner. Like the 5-star restaurants were incredible, but you probably want to shower before you go to there. The other reason it was on our bucket list is because it's an amazing rock climbing destination. Horseshoe Canyon is a great spot for beginning to intermediate rock climbing, and I'm sure it has advanced too, but I don't lead 512 or anything yet, so it was one of those spots that I'm like, oh, we really need to go there because the sport climbing is tightly bolted, and you're a little bit away from a town, but it's still within reach of Bentonville. It's about a 2-hour drive. The other cool thing, though, if you go to Bentonville, you can hire a helicopter to take you climbing. I mean, you can hire them to take you hiking also, but you can take, we went and met them, and they were saying how a lot of people charter their helicopters. They throw mountain bikes in or their climbing gear in, and they fly over to the climbing or hiking or new mountain biking destinations. It really is a whole new type of adventure than most of us are used to. Another thing that really blew me away about Bentonville was the food. We don't go out to eat a ton, big family, we have to kind of cook for ourselves. So when we were in Bentonville, they showed us all the best restaurants, and I was blown away by how great the whole farm to table delivery was. You really felt like you were eating things that had just been picked and things that were unique to the area. You still could get some of your traditional things that you want to get when you eat out, but there was definitely, we'd ask all the restaurants, like, is this Southwest, is it Midwest, or Southeast, is it Midwest, what is it? And it's kind of a fusion. You've got a mix of a lot of different things. The top highlights to me were the Hive was really cool. It's a hotel / museum / restaurant. Buttered Biscuit was a great place for breakfast. Oh man, don't count calories when you go there, just enjoy the food. It was really good. It's sausage and biscuits, but then there's cleaner things like acai bowls, and it was a really great, overall, real quick, if you like pork, you're gonna love Bentonville. That was a big highlight to me. Like, I'm a huge pork whore. And so a lot of the dishes it's centered around chorizo and different sausages, but you'll still find all your other gluten-free options, dairy-free options, meat-full options. It was great. Another one of my favorites was the press room. The press room has these huge pecan, they look like cinnamon rolls. They were amazing. I mean, you guys know, if you follow my healthy ones, I usually don't indulge in those things, but this thing was worth indulging in. And then you get to offset it with a ginger shot. They had fresh squeezed juices that were really good too. Another really cool spot that you absolutely have to go to is 8th Street Market. They've taken this industrial area and centered all these restaurants around the shuffleboard area. It's indoors, and so for free you can sit there and play shuffleboard, and there's a brewery right there, there's food trucks, there's an amazing Mexican restaurant, you can get burgers, there's live music a lot. The best one there though was the chocolate shop. There were a couple other really, really good restaurants and just a really cool vibe. That's probably where I would hang out all the time if I lived there. Other thing in Bentonville that is really what draws most people to Bentonville to begin, well, before the mountain biking, was it's a huge art destination. So you've got Crystal Bridges, which was really cool because there are a lot of famous artists, and it was free. I mean, it's a free museum to go through. The scenery surrounding the museum is beautiful. It's right on the river. So right outside of Crystal Bridges, they created this exhibit called Northern Lights. Now, it's only seasonal because they need it to be dark enough, so it's only really through the winter, but they're going to do it again next year. And they've lit up the forest and then incorporated effects and music and made it this really mystical experience. I was a little bit apprehensive at first, how good can this be? But it was really cool. One of the exhibits, I don't want to ruin all for you, but one of them, you get to walk up to a huge tree and it talks to you and you sing to it. I'm the worst singer. And so I have to sing to it, and it tells you a word and a color. And somehow, from my horrible singing, it came up with yellow and strength. And if you know anything about me from Project Life, you know that's my strongest chakra point. So somehow in my horrible singing, it picked that up. Pretty cool experience. Another thing in downtown is the Walmart Museum. I had no idea. Honestly, when I went to Bentonville, I didn't even know Walmart started there. I didn't know why we were touring Walmart. I was a little bit naive in that part, but I'm only human. So we go to tour Walmart, and I think, why are we touring Walmart? I mean, I don't get it. Really, it's a huge dedication to Sam Walton, who started Walmart. And it was really moving because I didn't realize how entrepreneurial minded he was, and that he was revolutionizing a lot of different aspects of not only the retail world, but just human nature in general. He was really, wanted to be efficient, keep the costs down, but he was also trying to make people feel important. And, even today, you could see how maybe that's missing, and that we can use a little bit more of that, making people feel important and heard and appreciated. So if you go there, you definitely should go through the Walmart Museum and check out what he did. There's this one part that really stood out to me. It was like his 10 principles of running a business that I really like. So make sure you look at that. And in the Walmart Museum, my favorite part in there was it has his old Ford truck. It's like a really old Ford. It's because, you know, this is my office, my truck, because everywhere else is loud. So I really liked his truck. Honestly, the reason I think Arkansas is still not maybe on the highest part, or let's say Bentonville specifically isn't on the top of everyone's bucket list, is because it is a little bit out of the way. And I think if you had that same town anywhere on the West Coast, the population would be 6 times what it is, at least, if not more. So it's a really nice small town vibe. That's probably my favorite part. I would tell you, yeah, mountain biking's great, but mountain biking is not what needs to drive you to go to Bentonville. It really was like a time warp. Like you went back in time and you just felt like everyone was so happy. Everyone was so nice. I tell over and over, but I was really taken back by like, even the teenagers who were working the shops and the restaurants, how they made eye contact. They'd ask me how my day was. I really, at the end, I asked Visit Bentonville, did you guys pay them to say this to me? But it really, I think it's just the culture there. I think everybody is very appreciative of what they have. Maybe too, because you are a little bit isolated. You don't have this keeping up with the Joneses feeling that maybe you have in some of the other towns. Bentonville sits on the northwest corner of Arkansas, but it's right on the edge of the Ozarks. So really, within an hour, you can be lost in the forest doing some really epic adventures. I think Bentonville overall is a great place for a lot of people that whether you're adventurous, you can really take your adventures to the next level. Or if you love culture and arts and food, you will be super happy. You don't ever have to sit on a mountain bike, go climbing, any of that. If you just want a place to like really chill out and relax, it's a great place for there. I have a feeling that the population there is going to double in the next 10 years. It reminds me of, I never went to Bend 20 years ago, but it's probably what Bend felt like 20 years ago before. Bend's still awesome, but before it got so populated and, there's traffic now in Bend. So there's no traffic in Bentonville. All right, I hope that inspired you to go to Bentonville. If you want more details on things to do and where to eat and the best mountain biking trails, check out our blog. The link is in the description.